What's up, party people? How we doing? Cody and I are back once again. I'm very happy to be back so soon with the discography or album rankings, if you will, because this took me a lot shorter than I expected because I had a lot of fun with this discography. There were a couple lows but a lot of highs. I would say for me, I'll say my top seven are really good, and then my bottom five, I eh eh. So yeah, Van Halen. Let's do this. Only 12 albums. Thank God.
Yep.
Not 19 albums or 27 albums or 87 albums, which is nice, but still, 12 isn't a huge amount, but it's also not a small amount. So, Cody, with your badass posters in your background, Nightmare on Elm Street, Dream Warriors, love that one too.
Yep.
You're number 12, good sir.
My number 12 is Van Halen III.
Okay.
Um, I think From Afar and Once are decent songs, but other than that, this album doesn't really do much for me.
Yeah. Yeah, I can't agree with that, but for me, I went into this discography knowing what my bottom two would be and was pretty sure what they would be also. Thinking that my number 12 was going to be Van Halen 3, but my number 12 is Balance. I believe the last with Sammy Hagar, if I remember correctly.
Yep.
I like Sammy Hagar's solo stuff. I think he's a cool dude. There's just something about his stuff in Van Halen that I just don't think quite clicked. They only did 4 albums over the 10, 11 years he was with the band. And Balance for me is just like if somebody was to ask me what is an album that just doesn't work for you, that makes you go, it's Balance. For me, it doesn't quite work. So yeah, number 12 for me was Balance, and that was kind of a shock because I did have because I did a pre-ranking list before, and I did have BH3 as my 12. It's not much higher than number 12, so number 11 for you.
My number 11 is A Different Kind of Truth.
Okay.
I do like You and Your Blues, Honey, Baby, Sweetie Doll, and Big River, but not the biggest fan of this album.
Yeah.
I did re-listen to it. I really liked it the first time I listened to it, but it hasn't really aged well for me.
Yeah.
It kind of feels a bit rushed to me.
I think for me, and I like the album a little bit more than you do, not that much more, but I like it. I think for me, it's kind of like what we said about 13 in the Black Sabbath discography, where you go from 1984 all the way to 2012, 2013.
I think so, yeah.
You go for so long without David Lee Roth, and and in between there you had the 4 Hagars, and then the one with whatever his face is, who did
I have it written down in here.
what's his face?
Gary
Who did?
Strone, I think.
Yeah. Who
Yeah.
did Van Halen 3? And it just feels a little off. It doesn't have that early Halen feel to it.
Yeah.
I agree with you on that, but it's not my number 11. My number 11 is Van Halen 3. I remember liking this album a lot more, but still it being the worst. And then I re-listened to it, and I was like, oh no, like there's some fun stuff that Eddie does on the guitar, and that's kind of it for me. Like again, it's a mm,
Yeah.
number 10.
My number 10 is Balance.
Okay.
I like the seventh seal. Can't Stop Loving You. Don't Tell Me, Aftershock, Feelin'. Some good stuff on here, but I feel like this is kind of the album where like Van Halen started becoming like a shell of their former selves.
Factual.
Yeah.
Factual. I totally agree. My number 10 is for Unlawful Carnal Knowledge, aka what my preferred name for this album is called. And I'm gonna wait till you drink your soda. Fuck. That is the greatest name for an album ever in the history of rock and roll, heavy metal, whatever. I just wish the album was a lot better because that is the greatest title I think ever for an album. Fuck. That is fantastic. Yeah, I just it's okay. These bottom three for me are really that. Like if I like one thing to describe them, mm, not there's not much on there that I really like. I said again, I'm not a huge Hagar fan, and yeah, this is just another one of his albums that is down at the bottom of my list. Number 10. Fuck. I'm a 5-year-old. I'm sorry. No, 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 I'm not.
All right. My number 9 is Diver Down. I do really like this album. There's a lot of good stuff on here, like Where Have All the Good Times Gone, Cathedral, Secrets, Intruder, Pretty Woman, Dancing in the Street. But it has a little bit too much cover songs on there for me, but still a good album.
You took the words right out of my mouth. This is also my number 9, and you took the words right out of my mouth. There's what 4, 5 cover songs on here, something like that,
Yeah.
and that's just way too many for an album. Yeah, it's got some good stuff by Eddie, but this has always been my least favorite of the David Lee Roth era. And yeah, I agree. Number 9 for sure.
All right. My number 8 is Women and Children First.
Mm-hmm.
It's a really good album. It's got In the Cradle Will Rock, Everybody Wants Some, Fools, Romeo Delight, Tora Tora, Take Your Whiskey Home, In a Simple Rhyme. A lot of good stuff on here. Really good album, but it's my number 8.
Yeah, no, it's a bit higher for me, but it's pretty good. I'll talk about that in a second. My number 8 is a different kind of truth. I kind of already said it. It doesn't quite have the feel that early Halen had with Roth, but I think I just like it more than a couple of the other Hagar albums, but certainly it's not as high as 2 others for me. But yeah, I enjoy it. I like it. I just wish it could have been a bit better, but yeah, it's just if I was to grade it, I would give it like I don't know, a B minus. I think it's good, but it's not great. It's not an all timer for me. So yeah, number 8, a different kind of truth.
All right. My number 7 is 5150. Um, Now, I think this top 7 is like all great albums for me. Um, really love 5150. Good Enough. Why Can't This Be Love? Get Up, Dreams, Summer Nights, Best of Both Worlds, Love Walks In, 5150, and Inside. A lot of great stuff on here, but I have 6 preferences.
Yeah, I will definitely agree with what you said. The top 7 is all pretty damn good here. I really don't think that there's a bad album in this top 7 for damn sure. I just have my number 7 is OU 8112, or OU 812, I should say, which is again like fuck a very funny album. Todd, no, it's not as good as fuck, but it's still funny. Yeah, I like this one. It's good. It's still got that classic Halen. This was the second one with Sammy, right?
Yep.
So it still retains that classic Halen sound, but it's them doing different stuff with Sammy, and I like it. And yeah, it's my number 7. Number 7.
All right. My number 6 is 1984. Great album, a lot of great stuff. 1984, Jump, Panama, Top Jimmy, Drop Dead Legs, Hot for Teacher, I'll Wait, Girl Gone Bad, House of Pain. A lot of great stuff on here, and it's my number 6. And I'll also say that I'll Wait is probably my favorite track on the 1984.
Yeah, I had that one. It's a bit higher, but I had 1984 at my number 7 on my list. That one's really high for me now. I really enjoy that album. But my number 6 is 5150. It's the highest one for me with Hagar. High. 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 I really like this album. It's his first one, and it's the one that has the most classic sound for me of Halen. I really enjoy it. It's I think it's Sammy's best vocal. I really enjoy this album. My number 6.
Nice. My number 5 is OU 812. It's a great album. Mine All Mine, When It's Love, AFU, Cabo Wabo, Source of Infection, Feel So Good, Finish What You Started, Black and Blue, Sucker in a Three-Piece, a Political Blues. A lot of great stuff on here. It's my number 5.
Yeah, yeah, that's a fun one. Again, love that album title. OU 812. I'm a child, and it's funny. My number 5 is Women and Children First. I had this one a bit lower on my list in my list, and I really enjoyed this one. I don't know what it was. Hey, you two, stop. You two, relax. Get up here. Come on, get up here. I really enjoyed this one a lot. I thought it was pretty dang good. It just, for me, it has that classic Halen. It just has that classic Van Halen feel to it, with a bit different twist in there at times. But I do like it. My number 5, Women and Children First. Yeah.
All right. My number 4 is Fuck, for Unlawful, Carnal Knowledge. My favorite of the Hagar albums. A lot of great stuff on here. Pound Cake, Judgment Day, Spanked, Run Around, Pleasure Dome, In and Out, Man on a Mission, The Dream is Over, Right Now, 316, and Top of the World. A lot of great stuff on here. It's my number 4. Love the album.
I think Pound Cake is maybe my favorite Hagar song.
Yeah, it's a great song.
Maybe. He's got some good ones in there. But
Yeah.
Pound Cake is definitely top 3. It might be my number 1 though. It's a damn good song. Damn good song. My number 4 is Van Halen II. I had this at my number 1 in my list again. I still really like this album. I think it's a really good follow up to Van Halen 1. It's really good. Just went down a bit for me, but overall, this is a stone cold hard rock heavy metal classic for sure. It's really really good. Really really good. It gets an A for sure.
Nice. My number 3 is Van Halen II. Yeah, like you said, it's a great album. You're No Good, Dance the Night Away, Somebody Get Me a Doctor, Bottoms Up, Out of Love Again, Light Up the Sky, Spanish Fly, which is pretty much like an acoustic version of Eruption, and
For sure.
DOA, Women in Love, Beautiful Girls. Great album. I love it.
I love DOA. I love
Yeah,
that
me
song.
too.
I love that song.
Yeah.
Number 3 for me is 1984. Like I said, I had this a bit lower on my pre-list. I have fun with this one now. I listened to it twice in my re-listening, and I really enjoyed this one. This was really good. It kind of sucked that they literally go from what was it 5 or 6 albums with David Lee Roth, and they're just on a high, and then it just ends like that. And it sucked because I thought 1984 was really good. I mean, again, it's like an A. I love this album. I did not expect to like this one as much as I did because I've always liked it, but there's just something about it this time around where I was just like, nah, this is top 3 for me, baby. I love this album. This is great. I loved it.
Nice. My number 2 is Van Halen 1. Amazing album. I love this album. Running with the Devil, Eruption, You Really Got Me, Ain't Talking About Love. I'm the One, Jamie's Crying, Atomic Punk, Feel Your Love Tonight, Little Dreamer, Ice Cream Man, On Fire. A lot of great stuff from start to finish.
I'm just going to say this right now. We have the same top 2, and I'm so happy about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, my number 2 is also Van Halen 1. I had this at my number 2 going in, and it stayed at number 2. This is one of the best debut. This isn't just one of the best debuts ever. This is one of the best rock and roll heavy metal albums ever. This is just Eddie and the boys absolutely showing how good they are and just what they can do. And it's fucking awesome.
Yep.
It's fucking awesome. I love this album. But go ahead with our mutual number 1. Because I'm so happy right now that we have this both at number 1.
Yep. Number 1, Fair Warning. Amazing album. Mean Street, Dirty Movies, Sinner's Swing, Hear About It Later, Unchained, Push Comes to Shove, So This Is Love, Sunday Afternoon in the Park, One Foot Out the Door. Great album. Just badass. It's really dark, the darkest Van Halen album.
By far.
Yeah.
This is a masterpiece of an album. This is such. I had this one at like my 5 or 6 going in on my on my pre-list, and dude, I've always liked this album, but again, it literally just went whoop, up to the top.
Yeah.
It is so fucking good. There is not a bad song on this album. There is not a bad moment on this album. It like you said, it's darker. It's not meaner, but it's got this heavy metal edge to it.
Yeah.
And I absolutely love every single second of this album.
Yeah.
It is a masterpiece of awesome. It is great. A+ across the board. Love it. I'm so happy we had the same top two. I am a giddy child right now. I was like, yes, we have the same top two. That's great. That is awesome. Yes. Re-listening to this band was like re-listening to a riff god who just kind of like and just like became like he was already one of my favorite guitar players of all time, but re-listening to this stuff, man, like Eddie is just I mean, call him a riff master, a guitar god, a guitar lord, or whatever you want to call him, man. This guy knows what he's doing.
Yeah,
he's
definitely
really good at his job. David Lee Roth is really good too. He's one of the best rock and roll singers. Michael Anthony's great. What's his brother's name?
Alex.
Alex Van Halen, great drummer. Yeah, man. When those four guys do their thing, it's masturbatory. Honestly, it's really, really good. I love this band.
Yeah, me too.
I had fun doing this, man. I'm very happy that you said Van Halen at the end. I was like, yes, you get to go back and revisit. Yeah, because when Eddie died, I just had them all on shuffle. I wasn't really listening to any particular album. I was just listening to Van Halen for 2-3 weeks. What are you doing? Can you lay down, you retard? Lay down. Lay down. But yeah, man, I had a lot of fun revisiting this stuff. And again, I really wouldn't say that there's a bad album in this discography. There's just okay ones.
Yeah.
To great ones, at least for me. I'll ask you again. Which one do you want to do next?
Wow. I guess the Dio solo discography.
Let's do it.
All right.
This is not going to be. I'm not going to say this is going to take me 2 weeks to do because it won't. I'm very familiar with Dio, but I can tell you this right now. Spoiler alert! Right now, his newer stuff is going to be at the top, and his older stuff is going to be at the bottom. For me personally,
All right.
but it's Dio, and he's great. And let's do this.
Yep.
All right, everybody. We out. Peace out, Kody. Once again, man, thanks for coming on here.
Yeah, you're welcome. It's always fun.
Very fun. It's Van Halen, man. It's always fun to talk about one of the greatest hard rock, heavy metal bands of all time. Peace out, everybody.